And a very warm welcome to all of you. India will look to save the series in Nagpur as they play the second T20 international against Australia. India could not defend 208 in the first T20 international with their death bowling specifically coming under the scanner. Can they save the series today? Can they win the second T20 international? From what we are hearing, Jasprit Bumrah is likely to be back in this match, but rain's been around since yesterday in Nagpur and there are some wet patches on the outfield. So we'll just have to wait and watch out for whether the toss is going to be on time. At the moment, very much on time. So let's just see how this pans out. Ashok Malhotra, former Indian cricketer and selector, he joins me here on the show. Ashok sir, thank you so much for talking to us and taking the time out to talk to us. Now, Ashok sir, let me tell all of you, is doing commentary for the Duleep Trophy final between West Zone and South Zone and was right there when Yashasvi Jaiswal scored a double hundred. Sir, quickly before we get to the match between India and Australia, how special was that?
It was a totally phenomenal innings by Yashasvi Jaiswal. They were 57 in deficit. The way he came in, all guns blazing. He went from the word go. He really went after somebody like Basil Thampi, whom he thumped for 33 runs in 3 overs. So he never looked back since. And he's the one who has a track record, Meha. He is averaging 86 in 7 first-class games he has played. Yeah. And he's got 500s and 150. So that means if he scores a 50, he scores 100. And it turns it to a double 100. So he's a phenomenal player. And what a knock he played. You know, everything was against them, but the way he turned the game on its head, and now game seems to be in favor of his team, West Zone.
He is one for the future, and you know it'll not be long before you can see him in the Indian colours. But let's now talk about India versus Australia, second T20 international. The pressure is going to be on the hosts after losing the first T20 international, isn't that so, Ashok sir?
Absolutely. Somehow the ball is in India's court. You know how they bounce back. So we have to wait and watch. We know our batsmen must be wondering how many runs we need to score. What our bowlers can defend, because bowling has been pathetic to say the least. With the Jasprit Bumrah also, you still got other 4 bowlers to find another 4 bowlers. So I really don't know, because Mumbai Indians, they had Jasprit Bumrah, but they failed to qualify. So I really don't know, can Jasprit Bumrah turn it around, especially after he comes back from injury? Is he in full flow? Is he in match fitness? So there are a few questions to be asked, like Harshal Patel went for very many. So these are few things which needs to be answered. So we need to...
Yes. Yeah. No, sorry, sir. Sorry to cut you in the middle, but this is what we're getting. Breaking news now is that the toss is delayed and there will be a pitch inspection at 7 p.m. after which a decision will be made on when the match can start. So there's an inspection that is scheduled at 7 p.m. after which we'll know what will be the time when the match starts. So toss delayed in Nagpur, and it's a little disappointing because of the kind of visuals that have been coming out of Nagpur. There have been fans who've been waiting to see this Indian team in action against Australia. So hopefully rain doesn't play a spoil sport. And Ravi Shastri at the toss saying that this is a 2-paced pitch. He's also saying that it is a bit tacky. So, you know, different from what we saw in Mohali, which was, as in Ravi Shastri's word, National Highway number 8. This is going to be a different pitch, but hopefully we'll get a game, and hopefully we'll get a 20 overs match, you know. I mean, we get a full match. That's what I think the fans as well as us were hoping for. But sir, yes, coming back to India and India's bowling concern, Ashok sir, we were talking about this yesterday as well. It almost seems like they're trying to plug these gaps, right? And they end up doing one, they end up plugging one gap and something else starts leaking. You know, it's almost like that. So with this team, when the batting comes good, for you know, in Asia Cup, all the talks were around India's batting. Of course, also Bhuvneshwar Kumar's 19th over. But now when your batting comes good, KL Rahul's looking good. Indian team, the batsmen have done well to score 208. It's your bowling that's falling apart.
Definitely so. And even about batting, Meha, sure, Hardik Pandya played a blinder. Sure, Surya Kumar Yadav batted magnificently. But what about the top three? I know KL Rahul came good. What about Rohit Sharma? What about Virat Kohli? So these are few questions need to be answered. And what about our great finisher, Dinesh Karthik? I don't know what kind of a magic he's going to pull. I will never understand. So the team is, they're not playing the right team. Let's be fair. Why would you play Umesh Yadav ahead of Deepak Chahar? Why can't you try Deepak Huda ahead of Dinesh Karthik? Why don't you have Ashwin if Yajwendra Chahal is leaking too many runs? So these are few things you fine tune your team when things are not going right for you. You can't be adamant, stubborn, and say no. We'll go with the team. This is our team. Then you're going to lose most of the games.
That's right. Also, let's take a look at the likely playing 11 now for the Indian team. The only change that I can think of is that if Jasprit Bumrah is fit and the team management thinks that he is fit enough without rushing him, he will come in place of Umesh Yadav. That seems to be the only change. And that's what then gets me to the next question, sir. You know, I was looking at the number of matches your top teams have played. And what I saw was that India have played the maximum number of matches this year, which is 27. Pakistan, in comparison, have played 9 matches this year. You look at England, they played 13 matches. South Africa, 10. Australia, 10. India have played 27 matches. They've had the maximum number of opportunities, really, to figure out their combination. And yet, we find ourselves in a situation where Akshar Patel's batting at number 6. And Dinesh Karthik is batting at number 7. And that to me is mind-boggling. Are you really expecting Akshar Patel, forget Indian conditions, in Australian conditions, to bat at number 6 and win you games?
Your guess is as good as mine. You know, that is what defies cricketing logic. You know, when you play Dinesh Karthik as a batter, you don't play Dinesh Karthik only as a finisher. You know, he's not going to bat only for 2 overs. Then you don't don't play Rishabh Pant. You know, I would not suggest you to bat Dinesh Karthik only for 2 overs. Pick him only for 2 overs. That is unbelievable. Why can't Rishabh Pant come in place of Dinesh Karthik? Why can't Deepak Huda come in? And then Yajwendra Chahal, if he's going for very many, why do you have Ashwin in the side if you're not going to play? You don't expect a guy who's 400 plus wickets in Test cricket, who's a legend in his own right, to be in the side and only warm the benches. I will never understand. You know, what is the logic behind it? Then might as well go for somebody like Ravi Bishnoi. So that is why, if the team management does not have the belief in Ashwin, or you waiting for a side to have 4 left-handers, only then Ashwin will play. That defies cricketing logic. You know, so these are few things which I as a cricketer, former cricketer or a selector, I really can't understand.
Yeah, the other thing that I was seeing was that Bhuvneshwar Kumar this whole year has been one of those cricketers who's played almost every game. If India have played 27 matches this year, Bhuvneshwar Kumar has played 22 of them. Yuzvendra Chahal is another one who's played a lot of matches, which is 16 matches. Are we then seeing these 2 bowlers who've played too many? I mean, is that even a concern, especially for Bhuvneshwar Kumar? I won't say for Yuzvendra Chahal. Is that something that the team the management should be looking at? Maybe give him a break right now because he is struggling. But if you're constantly going to get him to bowl the 19th over, even when he's going for runs, last match you bowled him in the 17th over, you went for 15 runs. 19th over, another 15 runs. Aren't you denting his confidence as well?
They have one thing is, Bhuvneshwar is not the same bowler what he was since he has come back from injury. Even in IPL, he was struggling in the slog overs. But despite of that, he picked them. So when he played in Sri Lanka, he bowled well in the power play. He bowled well, let's put it. But now it is too late. You can't change it. Because the problem is whether he comes good or not, you're going to play him. Because you didn't try anybody else. You didn't give anybody any opportunity because of the stubbornness of the management. So now you're left with no time, really no time. No time to really change a chop. Chop and changing cannot come. Now, at best, you can have Deepak Chair playing it. Or Shami, if he gets fit, you can play him against South Africa. And then maybe change these two names. Maybe Bhuvneshwar Kumar, you can give him a break, have Shami in his place. And even Deepak Chair in place of Bhuvneshwar Kumar, because like for like changes, because he's a younger guy, a quicker guy, and can swing the ball as well as Bhuvi can. So I think these are few changes you need to make now. But will they do the changes, or will they be stubborn as ever and go there and lose the games?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You look at the top wicket takers charts in power plays as well as death overs. It's Bhuvneshwar Kumar who's really at the top, even in the death overs. Which is what is.
But Meha, that is history. That is history.
It's this
year.
You're
talking about you. Yeah. This year, okay. But when it comes to slog, Asia Cup, he lost you both the Asia Cup games.
So when it matters, he's not been.
Absolutely. When it matters, he's not delivering. And he's lost space. He's lost the swing. And then slog overs, before that, he used to bowl good Yorkers, good slower balls. But they seem to be missing.
Yeah. I also get the feeling that maybe it's, he's played too many and there is this level of exhaustion. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to justify what seems to have gone wrong with Bhuvneshwar Kumar and with Yuzvendra Chahal as well. Coming back into the side, he looked different. But now, when conditions don't favor him, he looks ordinary. He's been, he's not been able to get wickets. He's also not, he's being expensive. What seems to be going wrong with Yuzvendra Chahal?
See, Meha, I think he went through this spell before also. But then he slowed down. He started flighting the ball and picking up wickets. But he's again gone back. He's bowling much quicker in the air. If a ball comes onto the bat nicely, because he goes for a six or two sixes, then he goes flatter and flatter. You're not trying to bowl your 4 overs and get out of the way. You're supposed to pick up wickets. That is your job. That is your role in the team. That is what is lacking. He needs to toss the ball up. He needs to pick up wickets. That is what is vital. If he goes for for me, Yashasvi Jaiswal, 4 overs, 30 runs, 3 wickets, I'll take it. Or Yashasvi Jaiswal, even 4 overs, 35 runs, he picks up 3 wickets, I'll still take it. But the Yashasvi Jaiswal bowling 4 overs, 35 and no wickets, I will not take it. That is not his role. That is not what he's there in the side for. He's there to pick up wickets in the middle overs, especially from 6 to 14 overs.
Let's also take a look at the Australian likely playing 11, and there I think the big question is how will India stop Cameron Green? The way he was batting and with a point to prove. It's interesting to see this, Ashok sir, because he is not in the World Cup squad, and yet given an opportunity, he's put his hand up and said, you're missing me. If anybody gets injured from that World Cup squad, the team selectors would know who to call.
Definitely. So I am surprised that he's not in the scheme of things, the way he's been playing for Australian 11. Yeah. But then they have made because for me, the weak link is Aaron Finch. There's no two ways about it. He's been struggling for a while. So you could have could have taken David Warner and Cameron Green. That might have been better off. But anyway, since Finch is the captain, he's going to be there. But the fact is, Cameron Green showed them what he can do. He can really dismantle. And he can take advantage of the power play. That is his strength. That is the power he has. And not to forget, last match, Glenn Maxwell did not score a run. Yeah. Tim David did not come to the party. Despite of that, they chased a mammoth total of 208. So I am surprised what more they can do. So India's backs are against the wall, believe you me. And if we don't put runs on the board, our bowling is very, very suspect. Even if Bumrah comes in the side.
On top of that, I mean, we talk of how Bumrah is absent from the Indian side, how Arshdeep Singh was rested from the last game. For Australians as well, they don't have David Warner, they don't have Mitchell Marsh, Marcus Stoinis, Mitchell Stark. It's not that they have their best team here. So keeping that in mind, I think Australia would be extremely pleased with how they performed in the last game, and this would have given them a lot of confidence.
Yes, sir. That shows that what kind of a bench strength they have.
Yeah.
We keep harping about our bench strength, but we are not trying our bench strength. We are having the same guys. The guys who sitting at the bench are staying at the bench. They are not going onto the park. That has been our undoing. We are not having the fresh blood at the side, because 2020 cricket is a young man's game. You can't keep having people who have a history of playing well. You have to have people who are playing well recently, or are in good form. You have to pick up informed players. So that has been our undoing. And, I don't know how, because now I think we have already decided this is the team. There's not going to be any change. We might say whatever. So they have decided on it. But if you keep losing, you will be criticized. You will have to face the criticism, and brickbats will come your way. It has to be whether they like it or they don't like it. And I can tell you, the honeymoon period for Rahul Dravid is over.
You've said that a couple of times before this as well, in the Asia Cup, the way India played. The other thing is Rohit Sharma coming on the back of this brilliant run as a captain for Mumbai Indians, then taking on the Indian captaincy, is now in a situation where he's realizing that being an Indian captain is a completely different ballgame than leading Mumbai Indians. I mean, you see that in the way he was in the last game. He's animated in press conferences as well. Whenever he's come, he's tried to defend the team and his decision, saying, look, I'm not listening to you. I don't hear the noise from outside. If I do, I won't be able to work. But somewhere, when results are not going your way, losses are piling up, it is going to impact him as well, because some of those decisions in the last game, I don't know, were questionable. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, whether he wants to listen it or not, the noise is getting deafening. So believe you me, he will have to listen to it. And outsiders are the ones who have played cricket, who know cricket. And there are billions of us. All of us, you can't keep losing games and keep saying that we are learning the trick. You are not learning. You are finishing a job. Your job is to finish the job. And not to forget, he himself had scored 250s in 80 games. Yeah. So which is phenomenal, to say the least. We kept going after Virat Kohli. Nobody looked at Rohit Sharma. Yeah. He's got just 250s in last 80 games, which is unbelievable. Even in IPL, he's been struggling the last 2 years. So I don't know what he has in mind. Everybody loves a winner. Nobody likes a loser. That's a fact. That is what he got to realize. If you're an Indian cap, it is you got to deliver. Simple as that. You can't keep making excuses. If you keep making excuses, then you will not be liked. You will be criticized, and the way Indian team is playing now, I don't see. I don't know, Meha. It can happen tomorrow. They can play out of their skin and turn things around and win the T20 World Cup. But as of now, I'm not at all hopeful. And not me. I think most of the people in the country are not hopeful the way Indian team is playing.
I think some of it also comes down to consistency. I mean, one thing is that they have the talent, the skill, they have got the pedigree in their team. There is no doubt about it. But with the way we've been saying, the decisions that have been made, the selection which has confused us, we wonder. I mean, I think you're in it. We've been talking about it. There are other cricket experts, fans who are asking some really basic questions like, why would you play Umesh Yadav? Now, there is no clarity. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe Deepak Chahar wasn't fit. That's why they had to go in with Umesh Yadav, because otherwise it's absolutely incredible that you will get Umesh Yadav, who was not in the scheme of things, which I think everybody's been asking this question. It's not just you and me. Everybody is wondering, how is it that you experiment over 10 months after losing, after the last T20 World Cup, Umesh Yadav's nowhere in your scheme of things, and suddenly you've got him here, and 6 matches before the T20 World Cup, he's playing a game for you. It beats common sense.
And Meha, if you needed somebody, why even if Deepak Chahar, if he's unfit, send him home. If Bumrah is not fit, I will still expect to wait for him. Deepak Chahar, if he's not fit, he played one game and didn't play the second game. Yeah. After that, he has not played. He's been sitting on the bench. If he's not fit, what are they doing in the team? Why don't we have a replacement for him? Why don't we have a Umran Malik or a Mohsin Khan or somebody who did well in IPL? This is a T20 sport. In T20, the guys who bowled well in IPL should be taken into consideration. You can't go, okay, Deepak Chahar is a phenomenal player. He's won us matches, but if he's not fit, you don't carry unfit guys. This is the World Cup, for God's sake. This is not an IPL. This is not one of bilateral series. This is a World Cup. So you have to have get your act together. For me, that is the $1 million question. If you have to call Umesh Yadav, why didn't you call somebody like Mohsin Khan? Let him have a feel of the international cricket. Let's see whether he can deliver at international level or not. Arshdeep is there by default because Harshal Patel got injured. Otherwise, he was not in reckoning also. Yeah. So this is what it is. Yeah. So I am amazed. Umesh Yadav, 3 years you don't consider. All of a sudden you make him play. Yeah. He didn't even play the white ball cricket in England. Yeah. So that is amazing to say the least.
Yeah, and also, he got 2 wickets, but he looked far from best. That there is no denying it. And the other thing also being, I don't know if you agree, Jasprit Bumrah is always, not always, but for a while now, he's one of the most important members of this side. If you put a team sheet, you would start writing names, his name would be first or second in all 3 formats. But at this point, we're completely dependent on him. And that to me is scary.
Absolutely. Meha, he has to bowl only 4 overs. There are other 16 overs to be bowled.
It almost seems like people think he's going to... people think that he'll come with a magic wand and just win us the match. 4 overs is all that he'll get. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, he couldn't do that for Mumbai Indians. He bowled 4 overs. 4 overs, he will bowl his quota of 4 overs. He might bowl 2 overs in the power play, 2 in the slog. But what about the middle overs? Who is going to bowl those overs? What about slog overs if you don't play Ashok? Who is going to bowl the other 2? And not to forget, Bumrah is coming back from injury. He does not have match fitness. He's been out of the game for a while. It might take him time to get back into rhythm. Fast bowling is all rhythm. So that is where the problem is going to be. So I really, really don't know. Is Bumrah? Yes, he's a champion bowler. We all expect him to do wonders for India. But can on his own win matches for India in T20 cricket? Because it's a team game. T20 is a team game. No individual wins a game for any side in T20.
Also talk about Jasprit. We've talked about Jasprit. Let's talk about Hardik Pandya. Now, we've got to talk about the positives as well. From the last game, KL Rahul looked good, found his range. Yes, it was a flat wicket, but some of those shots, and it always helps, when you get a pitch like that, when you get going, he looked good. So that was good news. Suryakumar Yadav once again made one believe that, okay, he's there. Wo main hoon na wala, that feel you got from Suryakumar Yadav yet again, and also showed us how this T20 format and T20 batting has evolved. And then there is Hardik Pandya, another extremely important player if India want to dream of doing well in the T20 World Cup. It's almost like from here on, the country would be praying that Suryakumar Yadav and Hardik Pandya, for sure, do not get injured. Nothing happens to them, because these 2 are key to India's chances of winning the World Cup.
Definitely so, Hardik Pandya. Because he's a great, good bowler. He's 140 plus bowler. He's a brilliant batter, especially when he's batting at number 5. He has been given number 5, given more responsibility. And he's coming up to the expectations. He's a different player since he's come back from injury. He's calmed down. He seems to be matured a lot. So he's looking the part. So is Suryakumar Yadav. As you said, main hoon na. He has that persona around him. So definitely a wonderful, wonderful cricketer. But as I always say, the top 3 are the problem. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, KL did well. What about Virat and Rohit?
Rohit Sharma.
So somewhere along the line, if India has to win, we need to get off to a good start.
Yeah.
Top three will have to fire. First 10 overs, if we get to 80, 90 for one, then we have a chance of getting to 200. But if we're 10 overs, we are 65 for 3 or 2, then I don't see every game you don't expect Surya Kumar and Hardik Pandya to bail you out.
Also talking about Akshar Patel's bowling, he's really, there have been matches this year where Akshar Patel has been phenomenal with the ball, not so much with the bat, but with the ball. Unlike a Ravindra Jadeja, who's been really good with the bat, not so much with the ball. But having said that, there's a difference in Ravindra Jadeja, the all-rounder, and Akshar Patel, the all-rounder. We've already spoken about that number 6 position and whether Akshar Patel should be batting at that position. But despite that, the bowling part of it, Akshar Patel is somebody who India can bank on. We saw that even in the last game. And I was really surprised that he gets your wicket in the first over that he bowls and then he was taken off. And I was wondering, why did that happen? Wouldn't you want? Today's T20 game is about getting wickets. What are you waiting for?
That is what Rohit is all about. It defies cricketing logic.
Yeah.
There's no justification for his actions. And then he says, I don't listen to the voices from outside. You bugger, you got to listen to the voices from outside. They're getting louder and louder.
Yeah.
With every game you're losing. So I agree with you. Akshar Patel definitely is a better bowler than Ravindra Jadeja. But fielding and batting, I think Jadeja is much ahead of Akshar Patel. But all in all, he's a great team man, Akshar Patel. And he is the right man at number 7 or number 8, not at number 6. So if you have any idea, and not to forget, he's a very tight bowler, very economical bowler. He's street smart bowler. He's not a one who turns the ball a big way, but a very street smart bowler. And batting, he can wheel the pillow. He's a good enough batter. He can maybe against weak teams he can turn it around. And not a bad fielder, but not in the same league as Ravindra Jadeja. But all in all, a like-for-like replacement, an ideal guy to have in your team.
Now, the other thing is Rahul Dravid. I wonder how many decisions on the playing 11 are made by Rahul Dravid, or what is his say in this?
All
are made
all,
by
Meha, all of them. Believe you me, not even 11 or 15, even the selection of the team. The decisions are made by Rahul Dravid. That is why I'm saying. That is why I'm not blaming selectors. I'm blaming Rahul Dravid. He is the one who is calling the shots. But
you're saying that Rohit Sharma has no say in this?
No, definitely. Rohit and Rahul together. That is why the blame lies at their doorsteps. But the fact is, the team 15 has been decided and informed to the selection committee. These are the 15 we want. And normally, the selection committee never says no, because the management has to make the team play.
Right. Did that happen with you as well when you were the selector? Were you were you given a list? These are the players. Just go out and say these names.
No, yeah, I think we were a bit different. But we will always give in if the captain insists on somebody. Like for an Australian series, we have picked Sarandeep before that, Zimbabwe, but Saurav insisted on Harbhajan, and we gave him Harbhajan, and the rest is history. How it turned things around.
Yeah.
So we always give in to the captain, as the selectors do give in to the captain, if the captain becomes adamant or he insists on somebody.
Yes, but not the whole list. You don't come and
no,
say
definitely not. Definitely
this is
not.
what
Definitely
this is what that thing is. The other thing, okay, now, so you wear the coach's hat now. Top 3, they're not going to change. I'm tying your hands also, so it gets more difficult. So top 3, it doesn't look like they're interested. They are very sure that they're going to open with KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma, and Virat Kohli is going to be at number 3. What is your team from there on?
4, Surya Kumar Yadav, he is an automatic. 5 is Hardik Pandya, an automatic. 6, I will have Rishabh Pant. Whether he's done well or not, but I'll still have him because he's the one who can turn game around. 7, I'll have Akshar Patel. 8 will be definitely Bumrah. 9 has to be Bhuvi. We are too long gone. And 10, I will go for Arshdeep Singh ahead of her, Harshal Patel. And Yajuvinder Chahal, surely, because he's still a match winner if he turns it around, if they tell him. So this will be my team. I will have Arshdeep ahead of Harshal Patel, and instead of Dinesh Karthik, I'll have Rishabh Pant.
Okay. But you are not concerned by the fact that Rishabh Pant lower down the order hasn't been impactful? I mean, he's been, first of all, we were saying that he should open because we kept saying India needs someone like him at the top or somebody who plays a different game to the top 3 currently. But they didn't do that. But then Rishabh Pant mostly came at number 4 and did well in a couple of innings. You don't think that that position is way too low for him? Do you see him as a finisher right now in the current situation?
Meha, if Dinesh Karthik is going to play 2 overs, then I might as well have Rishabh Pant, who has won us matches at the international level. He's won us test matches, he's won us one-days. So let's give him a chance as a finisher. You know, sure he cannot open the innings. Sure he can't go at number 4 because Sky, it is a place belongs to Sky. And at number 5, now I will have Hardik Pandya. It'll give him time to settle down and then play the big shots he can. And then Rishabh Pant at number 6. That'll be right number for him. You know, it'll give him, maybe it is like having a rap on his knuckles. It might hurt his ego. He might turn around and he'll play a great knock like he did in Australia when he was dropped and KL Rahul was preferred. So definitely sometimes you have to play on the egos of the players. So I will have Rishabh Pant definitely ahead of Dinesh Karthik.
Somehow the team is completely sure of Dinesh Karthik. I mean, even the number of matches that he's played almost all the matches since the IPL. Every match you've seen Dinesh Karthik come in. And the interesting thing there for our viewers as well is that Dinesh Karthik's not been able to replicate that success. Ashok sir, and we've been talking about it in the IPL, in the death overs, he was striking at 200 plus. Since then, in international cricket, his strike rate is 130 something. On top of that, you look at the 18, 19 innings that he's played, I can only think of 3 impactful innings out of that, 3 cameos where he's done well, which is, I think 2 of them were against South Africa and they were very good. His batting was brilliant in those 2 matches, and I think 1 was against West Indies. But then that role is so limited, Ashok sir, that you wonder that, you know, and I also get that, you know, it's a high risk role. So you're not going to be able to do well. But then wouldn't you want, you know, you say percentage shots in cricket, these days you're using this word. Wouldn't you want a percentage batsman, a percentage finisher?
Meha, for me, if he's going to bat after Akshar Patel, then he's no better, believe me. Because Akshar Patel at 6 is too high. And Dinesh Karthik, if he's going to play, at 7 is too low. So that is where either you change the position. For me, why I'm insisting on Rishabh Pant is, 1, he's a left-hander. Second, he has won you matches at international level, which Dinesh Karthik has not won in 17 years. He has not done anything in 17 years in international cricket. He's been around for 17 years. And as you very rightly said, playing in IPL is a different ball game. Playing international game is a different ball game. And how do we know what will he do in the bouncy pitches of Australia? He's done it in Indian conditions. Whereas Rishabh Pant loves those bouncy tracks. He has done it in Australia. So that is why I always prefer Rishabh Pant ahead of Dinesh Karthik. For me, Dinesh Karthik does not fit into the 50. I'm nothing against the guy, but the fact is, I would definitely go for him and might have Sanju Samson in his place.
I know you've said this from the beginning. I mean, every time I've spoken to you, you've been very clear when we've had any conversations around this, your World Cup squad, you've said, I don't want Dinesh Karthik, I definitely want Rishabh Pant. And that hasn't changed despite Rishabh failing in the innings in Asia Cup. Now, inspection is in progress, so we will get to know whether, you know, the match is going to start anytime soon, when the toss will happen. But with that, I think we'll have to wrap this up. We'll get you all the latest here and on News9, our website as well. You can go there. We're running a live blog there, so You can get the latest from there. Ashok sir, I'd like to thank you as well for taking the time out to
Thank you.
join us. That's it then
Thank
from us. News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to for all the latest from the world of sports, from the world of cricket. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.